Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Bunch. Two Wisconsin sports stars will not return to their respective teams in the upcoming season. First of all, in basketball. For the second straight year, Marquette will lose its top performer. Last year, it was Glenn Rivers to the NBA. This year, it's Dwayne Johnson because of academic problems. Marquette University announced just a few hours ago that its leading scorer and shot blocker will sit out the 1984-85 season. Johnson will attend a school in New York City to attempt to raise his grades and return to the Warriors for the 85-86 campaign. Two-year starter averaged 14 points last year as a junior. Coach Rick Majerus could not be reached. He was out of town recruiting, but we did get to talk to DJ's former teammate, Mark Murata.
I was a teammate of DJ's for 3 years, and as a good friend of his for even longer than that, I was naturally disappointed to hear the news. But I think all of us have problems we have to overcome. I'm confident that DJ will overcome his problems, and after his little hiatus for a year, I think he'll be back and continuing a successful career here at Marquette.
And if you're a football fan, mainly a Packer backer, listen up. Green Bay Packers did it. They traded place kicker Jan Stenderud for a 1985 draft choice, and not only traded him, but they dealed him to the division rival Minnesota Vikings. So next fall, come opening kickoff time, the 17-year veteran will shed the familiar green and gold of the Packers for the purple and white of the Minnesota Vikings. Stenderud broke George Bland's field goal record and currently has 338 last year. There has been talk of trading Stenderud ever since Coach Forrest Gregg came in.
We could not assure him that he was going to be the kicker because we don't assure anybody of that, any of our people. In some cases, I think we know for sure. In my mind, I didn't know for sure, so I couldn't assure anybody of anything. I offered him an opportunity to come back and to compete for a position. He really didn't want to do this. At the same time, we really were not anxious to trade him. So we put a price on that we thought that were later on down the line, if we did move him, that we would have a chance at least to get a football player.
It now appears that 25-year-old Eddie Garcia will become the Packers' primary place kicker, but Garcia knows he will have to earn any #1 position.
Well, it's not really mine yet. Nothing's cut and dried. Coach Forrest Gregg wants competition in every position, and they brought another kicker in, so it's not cut and dried yet. It's a shot in the arm as far as confidence goes, but still got to, do my job. If I'm not good enough, I won't make the team.
Believe it or not, the Brewers did it. They break a 4-game losing streak, and the victory keeps them 1 game ahead of out of the cellar ahead of the Cleveland Indians. They down the Mariners in the Kingdom 5-2. Big day for Teddy Simmons. Off the wall, he only gets a single out of it, but the Brewers go ahead 1-0. Mariners come right back in the third, and this run-scoring single by Dave Henderson in the fourth puts the home team ahead 2-1. Simba gets his third hit of the day. A single up the middle. That scores Robin Yount. Brewers lead 3-2 in the fifth. And in the sixth, Rick Manning greets loser Mike Moore with his 5th homer of the year. Takes him deep to right center. Brewers up 4-2. Ron Thomas in for Moore with the bases loaded. He doesn't do much better. Walks Eddie Romero. Ball 4 brings home Robin Yount to account for the final margin. Don Sutton finally evens his record at 8-8. 6 strikeouts for Don, including Mariner Dave Owen. That's his 274th career win. But he did need help from the man with a mustache. Who else? Riley Fingers. Riley gets save number 20. Brewers win it 5-2 over Seattle. In other American League ball games, Detroit 9, Chicago 8. That puts Tigers up by 9 full games, and Chicago drops into a virtual first-place tie as Minnesota downs New York 2-1. And finally, the Brewers open up a 10-game homestand back to Milwaukee. They start out with 3 games against the New York Yankees. Johnny Fortunato will return after this. It's the same old story from County Stadium this afternoon. The weather and the White Sox get hotter. The White Sox win their 4th straight by downing Milwaukee 7-0. That's 6 out of the last 7, including 3 in a row against Milwaukee. Meanwhile, the Brewers lose their 8th straight, and Mike Caldwell ties a club record with his 9th consecutive loss. The Sox jump all over Caldwell right away. Greg Luzinski bloops a single to left to score Rudy Law and the first Chicago run. Then Tom Paciorek smashes a single up the middle that scores Harold Baines, and the Chicago Southsiders lead 2-0. But they weren't done yet in the first. Ron Kittle, the very next batter, accounts for the 3rd straight run-scoring single to score Greg Luzinski and a 3-0 Chicago lead before the Brewers even come to bat. The Sox get 2 more runs in the second, the first coming on another run-scoring single, this time by Rudy Law past a drawn-in Brewer infield. 4-0 Chicago, and that's the end of Mike Caldwell. The Brewers did manage 11 hits but could never get the clutch hit, the story of the year. Here, Deion James flies to center with the bases loaded and 2 out in the 6th inning. The White Sox add 2 more in the 8th. That makes it 7-0. Rich Dodson pitches 7 2/3 scoreless innings to pick up his 11th win and first since the All-Star break.
I tried to work on some things today mechanically, you know, pitching's mechanics, get in a rhythm, and I haven't had a rhythm for 4 games. So take it one step at a time. You know, I got some things accomplished today. We got a big lead, which helped early in the game.
There were some encouraging signs, however. Andy Bean pitched 5 scoreless innings. Jimmy Gantner had 3 hits. And the Brewers stay out of last place because the Cleveland Indians also lose. From County Stadium, I'm Mike Bunch, Channel 4 Sports. He's known by his peers as one of the best 6 men in the NBA. Bucks fans call him the Torch for his ability to light up the Milwaukee arena with his jump shot. For 8 years, Junior Bridgman has been a key factor in the success of the Milwaukee Bucks. His role in the past has called for both playing guard and small forward. Bridgman does not expect Coach Don Nelson to change that role for this season.
The role will be the same. I'll still be coming off the bench, either playing forward, small forward, or else the guard.
Playing a swing role in the talented NBA is not an easy task. Does the University of Louisville product have a preference of guard or forward?
Not really. It just depends on who we're playing against and what the matchups are. Real big teams, I think, I'd rather play guard. You know, they have a little advantage there. And the real quick guards, like a Mo Cheeks or somebody like that, I think I'd rather be at the forward spot. So it just depends on the matchups and where I consider I have an advantage.
Bridgman has seen the Bucks win the Central Division annually for the past 4 seasons. But the Eastern Conference title has eluded Milwaukee thanks mainly to the Philadelphia 76ers. Junior thinks that may change this year.
So with us, it's just a matter of keeping everybody healthy. If we can get the breaks, there's no telling what we can do in the playoffs.
After tonight's home opener, the Bucks will take to the road for the next 3 games. Mike Bunch, Channel 8 Sports. Nine for the early going. I'm Mike Bunch, bringing you play-by-play action. WLSU TV and your Group W Cable welcomes you tonight to Mitchell Hall. Along with me tonight with color commentary, Eric Hillisland.
Mike, Lacrosse playing some very tough defense in the early going here. Looks like they're dropping into the zone after the out-of-bounds play.
Lacrosse coming off a disappointing defeat to Eau Claire, as we mentioned earlier, 82-60. They got blown out at University Arena. We got a foul right there. This is going to go on the big guy, number 54, Paul Kuski.
Both teams coming off weak. Aaron Stout was defeated by, I believe, Whitewater. No, Superior. Stout was defeated by Superior 83-68 over the weekend. Stahl with the rebound out the bus on the fast break.
Mark Stevens with a shot, wouldn't go, busted on. He's got 4. He wanted a couple there. They try to kick it inside. Denny, turnaround jumper, he's fouled, he hits it. Beautiful. Lacrosse coming off, hot off the bat. I don't think they missed a shot yet, Eric.
No, we got an intense Lacrosse team. Whatever Burt McDonald was practicing all this week, it's sure working tonight. Both Paul Denny and Lee Stahl coming out strong here in the early going. 11-4 Indians.
That's a second foul on 45, the forward, Mark Stevens. A big blow to the Stout lineup into the game. Kurt Stelflug, number 25. Denny converts on the free throw, and Lacrosse has an 8-point bulge, 12-4. Which, before the Eau Claire game that we mentioned, won 4 in a row. So they've won 4 out of their last 5. They're trying to come off that while Stout needs a win in the WSUC. Driving him in there, or the middle, Stout will dump it off outside. But Aaron, that one, rebound, that's Berg inside.
That was a bad shot. That was their center, 6'8" center, Rick Steffen. He is out way too far, took a bad shot, but Stout capitalized on the rebound.
Randy Berg, the guard, coming down with that one. And Lacrosse, or Stout, switching their defensive here. They're going to go, it looks like a 3-2 zone. And Lacrosse going to hold it, work for the good shot. 12-6, Lacrosse leads it. There's outside, Lee Stahl. And that's the first miss of the night for Lacrosse. Rebound hauled down by Steffen on the outlet. There's Stelflug. Going to take it all the way. Stopped by Stahl. He turnaround jumper. Nothing, but once again, the offensive board to Stout.
Fadeaway jumper. 2 bad shots there, Mike. Stahl out of his range there. That's not the type of shot Coach McDonald wants to get Stahl. Stahl's got to get that 10-footer.
Stelflug right there. Going to kick it on top. That's Rich Bourget with the ball. Number 30 on there, rather than 5. Underneath the pass.
Somebody lost their man, and Buss is going to end up with the foul there.
That's on Tim Buss.
Low McKitty for Lacrosse. Tim Buss with his foul.
Merg it in underneath, gets the hoop. That's a cool garbage, more or less, for Merg. and they cut the cross down to 4-8. The 6'2" guy, Rainer, step to the line. Bills one, convert on a 3-point play. Timmy Buss, kind of quick.
But senior out Watoma in the lineup here.
Throw by Merg. Cross now down, up with a 12-10 lead. We got 15 minutes first here. 5 ball, college basketball, WSUC, Mitchell Hall. Cross going to content to pull it out a little bit here. They want Stout, I believe, to go man-to-man. Coach Burt McDonald would rather have that running Indian offense against a man-to-man.
Expecting is at least just keep the ball out and force Stout to come out and match up man-to-man.
Reinhardt, Tommy, a little right stall now this time.
Mike, as we mentioned earlier, Stout with probably the biggest team in the WSUC, but lacrosse isn't exactly small this year.
They have some big timber up front. You see right there with the ball in the corner, Paul Kuski, 6'8", just more out of Green Bay, has played some good ball this year. Cross running the time off the clock. Leroy Stahl, they want Stout to go man-to-man. They don't want to hold the ball. Both teams, as we mentioned earlier, can put points on the board. Well, Coach Dwayne Mintz going to pull them out here.
Lacrosse being very patient on offense here. Coach McDonald wants Stout to match up man-to-man and force a turnover right there. What we're saying here.
Force the pass a little bit. Kuski trying to go inside to Denny. Lacrosse likes to do that. They want to go inside to the big man. Denny and Kuski post up and get that easy jumper off the glass. They did it well last week with a win over Platteville. Stahl will inbound.
Into the lineup for the Indians is Linus Vanderweis, the 6'4" out of Appleton, Wisconsin. Placeski.
Stout sticking in that tough zone. Lacrosse has held the ball for about a minute now. Tompkins will look for him to shoot from the outside. They want him open in the corner. Reinhardt drives, nothing, finds Vanderweis. Reinhardt, nice penetration. Tompkins likes to dish it back out to Stahl.
Lacrosse still being very patient on the offense, still wanting Stout to match up man-to-man. The head coach of Stout, Dwayne Mintz, isn't going for it. Dwayne's got a new theory on defense this year. He calls it the strangle defense. What that constitutes, Mike Bunch, I'm really sure, but it doesn't really look that overpowering right now. Stout patient on defense, but now they're matching up.
They're going to go man-to-man. That's what Purple wants. Open up that Indian offense. Look for Vanderwist inside. Once again, Tompkins with the ball. Stahl, baseline, back outside to Tompkins, and Vanderwist cross paid around a minute off the clock already. Reinhardt going to pull up. Free throw line extension, first of the night. Like Reinhardt Jr. Lacrosse, and they
have the type they're trying to run. Donald off the effect there, and good shaking 9-footer from the free line.
That's Randy Merg on top. Tries to look there. They want the ball on. Pass side, roll. Dale Thomp's up corner for the Indians. Please, 13 and Reinhardt can hold it up on top, set up the offense. Once again, Stout pulls back into their zone defense.
Lacrosse spreading it out, gets it inside.
Down around. I would think all now Paul could do that. The sophomore also from Lacrosse. Outside that jumper by Stout misses, and we get it's going to Leroy. Leroy's first ball. Stepping into the free throw line, that'll be Kurt Stelflug, averaging 9.5. Stelflug was UW Stout's most valuable player last year as he hits on the first free throw. Cuts the lead to 16-10.
Lacrosse really getting the ball inside to their big men effectively so far tonight.
16-11, they want to do. They got the big horses in there. Vanderwisky. I got 3 trap outlets. No whether that to their Mike offense. Stout man.
Right away with the ball.
Right away
go find it.
Down with the rebound. 33 rebounds. Jack comes down. Randy Merlane. He dishes off. That's Narrison. He hits it. There's Kurt Stelflug on the jumper, number 25. He'll score the Blue Devils.
Stahl had the open shot last time. They had the setup. Cleveland fucking on the offense. They want Stout to match up with them. They figure they can do a better job with their offense. And Lacrosse's offense is designed most effectively against the man-to-man.
Reinhardt, Stout does match up man-to-man. Cross, we're going to our lineup. Paul Denny was there. Stahl, he goes to Denny. Baseline, Denny underneath. Rimmed around, wouldn't go. Rebound, Stelflug.
Denny getting good position underneath, but couldn't find it.
Stelflug going to pull up top of the key, can't hit it. Rebound, tipped once, twice. Reinhardt can't find a scramble in the corner. Senior from Watoma, Dale Tompkins picks it up. On the control break. Outside to Stahl. Stahl going to drive baseline. He wants that one. Nothing but air.
I think he was fouled. They want a foul, but they're not going to get it.
Fans want it. They won't get it. Back the other way. Sloppy ball handling right there by Stout. It's going to go back to Stout. Burt McDonald not too happy about that one, but it'll go to the Blue Devils. Coming out of the cross lineup, Leroy Stahl, maybe because of that fourth shot right there, Eric.
It could be. Mike, not as physical as we thought it would be at the beginning, but I think this is the first time these two teams this year kind of other at the going. But you can expect some more physical play as a 16-3 cross with a 3-point lead with just over 10 minutes left in the first half here.
Checking up Carell, number 3. The inbound is knocked away by Kuski. Kuski, the big guy on the floor, gets up, and it'll be double ball. They'll run it once again.
Kuski, I believe, is getting called for the foul here.
Waiting for the decision. I don't think they called a foul. I think it was he just knocked it out of bounds. Blue Devils will get it back. Oh, they call a foul.
Kuski was the man on the floor.
Second personal on Kuski. Outside Randy Murr, 15 feet. He can't hit it. Rebound out to Vanderwist. Vanderwist, leading rebounder on the lacrosse squad point. Reinhardt. There's Kuski. Look inside. They want to get it to Denny. Look at Paul Denny flash in the middle there. Denny going to set it up. Mike Reinhardt, the junior guard from lacrosse. There's Denny. Free throw line extended out to Tompkins. Kuski, turn around, partially. We got a foul. I believe it's going to be a number 31. No, they're going to go with the big guy, the 6'8" senior or sophomore center for Stout. Picks up his first personal, second team. Lacrosse will kick that ball inside and look for the foul if they don't get the basket. And so far they've been successful. Only a 3-point lead with just over 10 minutes to go. Vanderwist in the corner. Outside Stahl and Tompkins. They'll set it up with Reinhardt. Paul Denny, Tompkins, his first shot of the game. 20-footer, can't hit his own back. Wanted it, couldn't hit it. Leroy Stahl back into the lacrosse lineup for Kuski, who's sitting at the second personal. That's right there. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be a lacrosse ball.
Both teams are hitting the boards very well tonight, Mike. Not too many seconds here.
Reinhardt. Reinhardt, the junior guard, averaging 8.2 points a ball game. There's Vanderwist. He's got nothing. Tompkins, they try to kick it inside. There's Linus Vanderwist to Stahl in the corner. Stahl, lacrosse's leading scorer, 12 points a game. Inside Denny, nice quick move by Paul Denny.
He's going to be called for traveling.
Oh, a little bit too quick right there. Nice move by Denny, but the ref didn't like it.
I don't know. I think that was one of the better moves Paul Denny's made. Excuse me, but he did not travel.
Taking a look at the lacrosse coaches there. We're going to give you your striped shirt and let you go out there in the second half. 9:26 left. Lacrosse leads a low-scoring ball game. We said both these teams would score a lot of points, but right now it's 16-13 only.
Both teams being very patient on both the offensive and defensive ends.
Stelflute. That's Ken Terrell checking in. Way outside. Stelflute can't hit a rebound. Down to number 41. He can't hit it. And Mike Reinhardt, the guard, hauls down the rebound. That was Jamie Angeli with a shot. And Reinhardt brings it down. Leroy Stahl, he's not afraid to put it up. Looks for the shot first. Can't hit it. Cross will set it up. Inside to Denny. Let's see what he does this time. Turnaround jumper. 3 guys on him, and he still hit it. Oh, my.
Beautiful play by Paul Denny.
That's 7 in the ball game for Denny.
Lacrosse going to their big men, and they're doing the job.
7 points for the 6'8" senior, or 6'9" sophomore, rather. Paul Denny for lacrosse.
According to our statistician, Mike Fritz, tonight, the only guard to score is Mike Reinhardt with 2 points. The other 16 points go accredited to the big men. That's where lacrosse. Paul Denny and Paul Kuski.
Denny again. He gets blocked once, twice, wants a foul. Can't get it. Stelflute on the break. We got an offensive foul on the break. A little bit out of hand, Ken Terrell. And it'll come back the other way.
And now we're seeing a little more physical action here, Mike.
Up and down. We want to see both these teams get up and down the court, run their fast break. They like to do that. So far, 18-13. We don't know what the shooting percentages are, but there's some good defense being played and some patient offensive that have caused this early score in the early going. 8:24 left. Reinhardt brings it up. 18-13. Lacrosse leads it. There's Stahl. Looks inside. He's got Vanderwist. Going to pump fake once. Pull up. In and out, rebound down to Randy Murr. Gets about 3 rebounds for the guard.
Lacrosse is getting the shots that they want. They're
inside. We got a foul. Bucket good. That's Mark Stevens with a basket, and we got a foul. Chance for the 3-point play for the Blue Devils. Paul Denny with a foul, picks up his first personal. We got 6'7" Mark Stevens right there going against 6'9" Paul Denny. That time Stevens got the better. He'll try to convert on the 3-pointer.
We mentioned these teams are very evened up tonight, height-wise and talent-wise. Stout with a 1-5 record in the conference, but overall they're 10-6. The Indians, on the other hand, 3-2 in the WSUC and 8-6 overall.
Both these teams are young. Inside Denny, once again, we got a foul before he gets off the shot. It's going to be on Mark Stevens. I believe that's 3 on him.
Stout starting to make a few adjustments underneath. Denny getting the ball a little bit too easily earlier in the game. Now they're starting to converge on the big man.
Mark Stevens picks up his third, and he'll be substituted for real quickly, I would think. Coach Dwayne Mintz will go to his bench. Couldn't do it that time, though. No buzzer. Cross sends it out there. Stahl on the inbounds. Jumper. He can't hit it. Rebound down to Stelflug. Stelflug going deep to Mert. Picked off that time. Nicely by Mike Reinhardt. Knocked out of bounds. The Blue Devils will have it. Saw Mike Reinhardt using his jumping ability there. Probably the best vertical jump on this lacrosse squad. Reinhardt got up. Looked like a defensive back there.
For his height, he has excellent jumping ability.
Outside, there's Randy Berg. Going to go to Stelflug. Stelflug with nothing. They're going to set up the offense. Ken Terrell with the ball. Terrell wants that jumper. Don't look like he traveled. No call. Inside, the Blue Devils work it. They look a little slow on offense here. Blocked nicely by Denny. Fight for the ball. Tompkins knocks it away. Back, that's number 41, Jamie Angeli.
Number 41, Jamie Angeli, staying with it. Got it put in the wind a couple times by Denny, but he stuck with it. Lacrosse playing good defense, but both teams are getting some good shots away here. 18-17, a little over 7 minutes remaining to play in this first half.
We got ourselves a 1-point ball game. Lacrosse was up 18-13. They've had the lead the whole ball game from the opening tip. They went off and took a Leroy Stahl jumper for a 2-zip lead, and they hold it now 18-17. 6:56 left in the first half. Denny, top of the key. You're seeing aggressive defense being picked up here by Stout.
I was just going to say, I wonder if this is what Coach Mintz means by their new strangle defense. Both teams getting a little more aggressive.
Inside, and Denny won't go. Knocked away Berg. Berg, I believe he was out of bounds. He doesn't like the call. Berg does not like the call, but anyway, it'll be lacrosse basketball. Checking into the lineup for lacrosse. A crowd favorite, I believe, here at the university, number 14, David Coonan.
Merck stepped on the line. He wanted to cry about it a little bit, but we're going to stay here.
6'4" junior Coonan from Nina. You see him there. Hasn't been getting a lot of playing time recently, but has a lot of talent and could help this lacrosse ball club. Checking in also the lacrosse lineup, another Coonan, number 10, Dave Coonan. That's Dave, or Steve rather, with the ball. Dave, number 14, Steve, number 10. The Coonan brothers from Nina, both juniors. That's Steve. He'll control the offense with Reinhardt out top. Inside, they try to go with Vanderwist. Couldn't hold on. Back to the Blue Devils as they get a chance to take the lead here for the first time tonight. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. WSUC basketball. Driving the baseline. Terrell. He can't hit it. Reinhardt down with the ball. Or rather, that was Angeli. We got a kick. It'll be lacrosse basketball.
Going back to the previous play. Perfect pass into Vanderwist, but he started moving without the ball. Easy to do in the game of basketball, Mike.
Got some big boys underneath there. He might have heard some footsteps. Some weak side help applied by the Blue Devils. Checking in to the Blue Devil lineup. That's 21, Ron Hunter at guard. Coonan looking inside for Denny. There's Denny. Going to go left. There's a jumper. He got a foul. Bucket good. Paul Denny. Oh, my. He can hit it from underneath. Turnaround jumper. And he's fouled. Another chance for a three-point play for Denny. He's got 9 in the ball game for the Indians.
Denny playing a real tough ball game, getting the ball inside to him.
That's lacrosse's ball game. They have not so much a height advantage as they're used to tonight, but Denny, 6'9", towers over everybody in there. Uses his quickness well, and he gets that one to go. He'll go to the line for a three-point play. Lacrosse leads it by 3, 20-17.
Of lacrosse's 14 games this season, Paul Denny and Lee Stahl have combined for over half of the most points scored in all of the games this year. I believe, do we have a technical? Mike, what
technical foul, I believe,
on Stout? Maybe somebody didn't check in.
Dale Narrison, number 35, did not check in the lineup.
Dale thought he'd just jump off the bench and start playing. You can't do that this year. He forgot to check in. Lacrosse is going to be able to get an extra point here at the free throw.
Denny will shoot 2 here. I believe he'll shoot first of all, the technical. A little bit hard. Or rather, that was the foul. And missed the conversion of the three-point play. Couldn't hit it. And Timmy Buss, the senior from Wisconsin Dells, checks in the lineup. He'll shoot the technical. There's Buss, good free throw shooter. Tim Buss converts. Buss out early in the ball game. That's his 5th point of the ball game. He went out with about 3 minutes into the contest as he picked up 2 quick fouls. Buss, good free throw shooter on the year, shooting 83% for the Indians, leading free throw shooter on the squad. Some confusion out there now as to what's going on. 21-17, La Crosse leads it. Little conference over there at the scores table. I don't know what's going on, Eric.
Coach Mintz doesn't like what's happening here.
I don't think he agrees with that technical
I really
call.
don't think. I wish we had a microphone over there, but then again, maybe it'd be best that we don't.
Oh, I don't think we can do that.
Stout trailing by 4 here. The Indians with a 21-17 lead, Mike. As physical as we thought it was going to be so far?
I really don't think so. Both teams are playing aggressive defense. Not that there's action under the boards, but not quite as physical as we thought, although we do have some people on the bench early with foul trouble. We have Stevens with 3 quick fouls for Stout, and big gun, 6'7". For La Crosse, Paul Kuski on the bench right now with 2 fouls.
I think Coach McDonald's maybe a little bit surprised that Stout didn't pick La Crosse up in the early going rather than letting them keep the ball out top and be patient with their guards.
There's who La Crosse wants in the ball game. 6-foot senior guard from Wisconsin Dells, Tim Buss, to run the show inside. Forced pass right there by Coonan, but he hustles and gets it back. Coonan going to drive baseline, double pumps. He gets hammered on that one. That was Ken Terrell on the foul. Nice hustle right there by Coonan, the junior from Neenah. Had a little trouble with the corner, tried to force it into Vanderwist, got knocked away. Coonan picked it up, drove baseline, draws the foul.
If we're going to have a substitution here, number 21 for Stout, Ron Hunter, the freshman guard out of Dayton, Ohio. I hear some good things about him. Potentially good player in the WSUC. Looks like he might have injured an ankle here. In for Stout now is number 33, Rich Burgett.
Got a hand there for Rich. He checks out of the lineup. I believe he's got 2 personal fouls already in the early going, or rather, with only 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Steve Coonan from the line converts. First point of the game for Steve Coonan. A little bit of surprise. Coach Bert McDonald going to his bench with the Coonan brothers. A lot of talent between those 2 guys, and we got a foul going against Stout. We'll keep it right here.
Now, Coach McDonald hasn't hesitated at all going to his bench tonight. As you mentioned, Lee Stahl's been out for 5-6 minutes now, but they still kept in the game. They still kept a good lead. As we mentioned, Paul Denny playing a very tough first half. 9 points. If he hits this one, it'll be 10, I believe.
Denny at the line, 1-1. He hits it. La Crosse is in the bonus. Denny converts on the first. You see the score there. La Crosse by 6, 23-17. Glad to have you tonight. Live basketball from Mitchell Hall, WSUC. Denny on the second one. Hits it. He's got 11. La Crosse got a 7-point lead. Their biggest advantage of the night.
Stout with a smaller, quicker lineup in the game right now.
There's Hunter, the freshman, drives baseline, drives in the middle, out of control, but we got a foul. The refs are keeping a close eye on this one, Eric.
There's no doubt about it. They don't want to let this one get out of hand too early.
We talked about the chance of a physical ball game. Maybe the refs did too, as they're keeping this one under close watch. A lot of fouls in the early going. Both teams are in the bonus now, I do believe. 24-17. Ron Hunter will go to the line. That is the 7th team foul for the Indians.
Okay, I don't think anybody is in any real foul trouble as of yet. We'll have more of those statistics at halftime.
Coonan brings it down, the rebound. Hunter couldn't convert. Coonan with a nice move. He's got Ryan out in the corner. Ryan out from Coonan gonna bring it up. 4, 3, 2. Ryan out from about 15. The jumper, no good. That's gonna do it. First half is over. La Crosse leads it 38-25.
Reinhardt with the open shot, having a very cold first half, but as for the rest of the team, a very balanced attack by the La Crosse Indians. They're going in with a 38-25 lead at the half.
Good first half for La Crosse. I have to say that both teams started off rather shaky. Not too many points being put on the board in the first 10 minutes, but after that, La Crosse has run their offense real well, Eric. And they've got it inside to Denny. The Coonan brothers, as we mentioned earlier, have come in and done a fine job. And La Crosse leads it right now 38-25 at the half. Going to give you a chance to look at the UWL pom-pom squad here as we give you a halftime entertainment.
So you mentioned La Crosse with the lead throughout the game, but the Coonan brothers, there was a big turnaround point for the Indians. They came in and they really sparked their fast break, along with Mike Reinhardt, who had a cold first half, shooting-wise, but he was there and he was a big, effective part of their offense. Defensively, Stout's getting 1 shot. And La Crosse is really hitting the boards well and picking up the open man. They're communicating underneath.
A better As you take a look at the UWL pom-pom squad, a better second half of the first half for lacrosse. They got the ball inside, worked out their offensive well, and as usual played some tough defense, and they lead it by 13, 38-25. We'll give you a chance to look and listen. UWL pom-pom squad performs here. You see basketball. Lacrosse leads it, if you just joined us, 38-25 at the half. Taking a look at the halftime stats for lacrosse. Leading scorer, the big guy, 6'9", Paul Denny with 15 points. Did a fine job. They kick it inside to Denny, and he more or less had his run of the show underneath. Also scoring for lacrosse, Steve Coonan had 7 coming off the bench. Coonan doesn't see a lot of time, but he got a lot of time early here in the first half and scored 7. Tim Buss on the bench early with foul trouble, managed 5 points, 2 for 2 from the field and 1 from the line. Leroy Stahl also did not see much time as he got 5 points. Linus Vanderweis also had 4 for lacrosse, and Mike Reinhardt 2 to round out the UWL scoring. For Stout, as you listen to the marching band here at UWL, leading score for Stout, they had a lot of balanced scoring. They didn't have much. 6 points for Jamie Angeli. Kurt Stilflug also with 6. Mark Stevens had 4. And a surprise for the Blue Devils, only 2 points for Dale Narrison, 2 points for Rich Bourget, and 4 points for Randy Berg. They didn't get a lot of scoring from the guys they wanted to get it from, and that's probably one of the reasons lacrosse has taken a 38-25 halftime advantage.
Well, I'm sure, Mike, right now at halftime, head coach Dwayne Mintz is probably talking to his players saying, hey, fellas, it's time to start running the offense. They're taking a lot of poor shots with people on them. It doesn't seem like they're getting anything going. Lacrosse is having no trouble at all.
Activities, we're about ready for the second half action. You take a look at the UWL squad right there. Head coach Bert McDonald, last minute instructions.
As you mentioned, Mike, McDonald probably was not pleased with his team's performance in the first half, but I'm sure he had a few things to talk to his team at halftime as far as not letting down, because the big guns for Stout, Narrison, who's been held only 4 points tonight, he's not going to keep quiet all night, and this is an explosive Stout team, so lacrosse is going to have to remain tough. This is a whole nother half. This is a whole nother ball game.
That's right. Dwayne Mintz going to his bench. His highest score is Stelflug with 6, and then Narrison, as you mentioned, only had 4. They had some guys coming off the bench. Set the starting lineups for you. Leroy Stahl will inbound right here. He'll be at 1 forward at the guards. That's Tim Buss with the ball right there, and Mike Reinhardt, number 5 for the Indians. We got some problems with the scorers table over here. Yes, we do have a problem. I believe our clock was not set right. The buzzer went off. We'll do it one more time.
Alternate possession rule in effect here in college basketball. Lacrosse with the ball beginning the second half.
That's Tim Buss at 1 guard along with Michael Reinhardt, number 5. Leroy Stahl will run the baseline, and the big man for the middle. 54, Paul Kuski. We got a steal right there. And number 52, Paul Denny.
Foul on Timmy Buss. Got the ball stripped away from him. Then he tried to strip it back, but instead he slapped him. He's going to get called for fall. Well, Timmy's out right away.
Well, the senior from the Wisconsin Dells having a little trouble tonight on the foul side. He's going out of the bench. I believe we got a technical foul, Eric. Tim Buss not happy with that one. I think we might have a technical.
I think Dale Tompkins thought he'd just jump off the bench and without telling the scorekeeper that he was going in.
We saw that earlier.
Yep, that's the story again.
Saw that earlier tonight on the Blue Devils
college
side.
I used to do that in high school. You don't do that in college.
Oh, poor mistake on lacrosse. Dale Narrison. Stout's leading scorer goes to the line. He misses that one. You got to hit those freebies. He doesn't. Setting the Blue Devil lineup for you. At 1 guard, number 13, Randy Merg. His backcourt partner, number 33, Rich Bourget. Merg will inbound there. Front line, Mark Stevens, 45, 55, Rick Stuffin. And we got a steal right there by the big guy, Kuski, but it's going to go out of bounds and back the Blue Devils' way. And another forward, as we mentioned, number 35, Dale Narrison for the Blue Devils.
Kuski with a heavily wrapped left thigh, it looks like. Doesn't look like it's really affecting him that much tonight. On the bench most of the first half with foul trouble, but again, that really didn't matter as the Coonan brothers came in and really produced and did a good job.
Merg will bring it up in the front court, guarded closely by Reinhardt, there's Tompkins on the D. They try to go underneath, tipped out of bounds. Nice defense. I believe Paul Denny got a hand on that one.
I think Stout got a break there, Mike. Number 45 for Stout, Mark Stevens, I think tipped it.
Leroy Stahl wanted out of bounds, but it won't go. Blue Devils under their own hoop. That's Narrison in the corner. He wants a shot. They cut him off great in the first half. Stefan in the corner. Kicks it back outside to Merg. That's Bourget. Going to drive baseline. Pull up over Kuski. Can't hit it. Bouncing around. Rebound goes to Blue Devils. He's walking. No call under there. Nice offensive board. I believe he traveled, though.
I believe he traveled, and they were in the lane for about 15 seconds.
Narrison looks inside. Going to kick it back outside. Bourget. That look for Narrison to get the ball more this half was not effective at all in the first half. He only had 4 points, I do believe. No score. There's the pick for Narrison. He's got the jumper. He can't hit it once again. The rebound out to Reinhardt. Once again, Mike Bunch and Eric Hillisland bringing you WSUC basketball live from Mitchell Hall here tonight. Early going. We got a minute gone in the second half. No score. Both teams a little slow after the intermission.
Both teams starting out cold.
38-25. Lacrosse leads it. Same as our halftime score. Out top, Blue Devils trying to look inside. Can't get anything. Cut off by Kuski.
Denny, Stahl, and Kuski really jamming up that inside, making it difficult for Stout to get the ball in the middle.
Some tall timber there, 6'9", 6'7". Nice defense right there by Stahl. 6'9", 6'7", 6'8 for Lacrosse up front. Darrison underneath, can't hit it, blocked by Reinhardt, and Denny, it's going to be Lacrosse basketball. You're going to have assist right there to Bob Schultz. He picked up that ball and threw it to the ref very nicely there. Indians will bring it up. This is WLSU TV. Glad to bring you a live basketball from Mitchell Hall. I'm Mike Bunch along with Eric Hillisland. This is Sports Scoop, an affiliate of WLSU TV. Glad to bring you here. Glad to have you here tonight.
We'd like to have you here. We wish you were here.
We're going to bring you in the living room. Paul Denny, turnaround jumper. Can't hit it.
Beautiful tip by Kuski, getting way up.
We got our first points of the second half. Paul Kuski. Right back the other way, Stout. They want waste no time bringing it up. There's Narrison on a drive. That's Dale Narrison that I believe the Blue Devils want to see in the second half. He's had a tough time getting on track. He scores there. Lacrosse by 13.
As we mentioned earlier, he's not going to keep quiet. He's averaging 16 points per game in the WSUC so far this season.
Stout with a man-to-man defense. Reinhardt will run the show. Tompkins into the guard. He does not start for the Indians, but has come in. Kuski underneath. 3 guys on him. Muscles it up. I believe he drew the foul.
Got the ball inside to him, Mike, but he had 2 men on him. I think he forced the shot.
They want to kick it into Kuski. Maybe a little bit of a force there, but he'll draw that foul. He'll go to the line and should get 2. Kuski in the last, I believe, 8 out of 10 games, he's averaged over 10 points a ball game, which is just great for the Indians. An inexperienced front line for the Indians this year. Last year they had 3 seniors on the front line. They had Bob Wissing, Eric Nordstrom, and Mark Bambenek. Now they go to Paul Kuski, Lee Stahl, and Linus Vanderweis, or rather Paul Denny. None of the 3 started last year or played much for the Indians.
Talking about the physicalness of the WSUC conference, Mike, talking with Coach McDonald before the game, saying how the services of Mark Bambenek and Eric Nordstrom have been missed by the Indians this year, but people like Paul Kuski and Lee Stahl have really filled in and are really adapting to the physical WSUC.
They down a fast break, and you'll have a basket there, and it's 80-62 with only 1:49 left in the ball game. Take a look at us in the booth. I'm Mike Bunch along with Eric Hillisland. Mike Fritz, our statistician, to my right. Good job, Mike. A little low on the second half here. Slacked off a little bit. We'll let it go for the first ball game.
Mike, an innocent man and 6'3" senior out of Rhinelander, Wisconsin, is assistant freshman basketball coach here at the university. Mike, glad to have you along tonight. Thank you for providing some good statistics for us.
80-62, minute 49 to go. You see it right there on your scoreboard. Glad to bring you. This is WLSU TV Sports Group, a division of WLSUT. Glad to bring the ball game into your living room, your dorm room, or whatever. Glad to have you. Back to live action. Dave Coonan with a near steal and checking into the lacrosse lineup. Time to sub a little bit. That's number 22, a guard, 5'11", from Oregon, a sophomore, Bruce Connor.
I think this one's all but history. It'd be wise for both coaches to start putting in some of their other ball players, some of the younger ball players, to get some experience.
Greg Jansen can't hit it. Paul Denny with another board. Paul Denny leads lacrosse tonight with 21 points. Dale Tompkins checks in the lineup, brings it up. Coach Burt McDonald clearing his bench. Paul Saban getting ready to come in. And Leroy Stahl got that put in the wind, didn't he?
He got his Coke bottle there.
Oh, Leroy went up, having a little tough night from the floor, but overall a good game from Stahl. Greg Jantz, or Mark Stevens rather, gets on the board. He's got 8. Approaching just a minute to go. Tompkins, a little fancy behind the back, gonna take it in. Now's the time to try to get your average or hike it up, one of the two. Bill Tompkins drives. Lacrosse content to hold on to the ball.
Bring it out.
They're up by 16. Crowd wants
the fans are booing. They want to play ball here.
They want him to take it to the hoop. Add on to the score. Tompkins will. Drives. Nice drive. Lay in by Dale Tompkins. The senior's got 2. He's got 4 on the night. You see him there. And we got 45 seconds. This one is just about over by 18.
Tompkins could have put a good fake on Ron Hunter at the other end. Tompkins with the ball now. 36 seconds remaining in this one.
By 18. Good performance. Tompkins. Oh, he says I'll put it up. Can't hit it back the other way. The Blue Devils got it. 27 seconds. You can hear the lacrosse band in the background signaling this one's just about over. Tompkins making that rebound statistic up. Rebound average. Tompkins gonna hold it. We got a foul. He'll go to the line.
Poor old Paul Saban's been at the desk for the last minute and a half. 14 seconds left. He's going to get a chance to come in and finish out the ball game for Lee Stahl. Lee Stahl out of the ball game. How much did he end up with tonight, Mike?
Unofficially, Lee Stahl with 13 points. 13 points on the night for Stahl. Not one of his best shooting performances on the night, but overall a good job from the sophomore from Richland Center.
Paul Denny also leaving the ball game. He ended tonight with 21 points. I think the key word or key words of tonight's victory, Mike, would have to be well balanced for lacrosse.
Yeah, a couple guys in double figures. Paul Denny led lacrosse with 21. Paul Kuski in there all second half. I think he had 12 unofficially. You see Tompkins sink the free throw and out of the final margin. 83-64 right now.
Just a real good team effort by lacrosse, with the exception of a little bit of a lag to begin the second half. Really came out strong, or really came back out of it strong. That could have been potentially dangerous there for a while with the technical fouls, but they pulled themselves out of it, got back into their running game, got the ball into their big men in the middle.
Well, we got under 10 to go. The jumper by Hunter, no good. We got a foul right there. Checking in the lineup, number 4 for lacrosse. You might know him. That's Troy McDonald, coach of son Bert McDonald, just a sophomore. See Troy suiting up and getting some playing time, along with number 30, Paul Saban, who just both checked into the lineup.
Paul's a senior out of Elkhorn.
Elkhorn, Wisconsin.
Elkhorn, Wisconsin.
Paul done a fine job here. Provides a lot of hustle. Usually
Mr.
come in the second half.
Paul's the Pete Rose of University of Wisconsin lacrosse basketball.
I've never seen a guy with more hustle, more aggressiveness at the university level than I have out of Paul Saban the past 4 years at lacrosse. A couple free throws right there. Second one won't go. Look at Connor and Saban fight. Connor's got it. We got
Dave Coonan. We could have a jam. He's up and that ball's in.
Oh my! That tells it all right there.
Hello, neighbor.
Coonan with a slam, neighbor. This one's all over. 86-65.
Dave Coonan gets way up.
A little icing on the cake, isn't that what you call it?
A little called wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. This one's history from Mitchell Hall, 86-65.
Well, that's going to do it. A big win for the Indians tonight. They needed a win. They increased their record to 4-2 in the WSUC, 9-6 overall. I believe the Stout Blue Devils now fall to 1-6 in the conference. And we're going to wrap it up here as we go over the leading scores. Some of the big points, Eric, tonight. I think we got to look at the Coonan brothers and a play of Paul Denny inside, along with Vanderweiss and Kuski.
Exactly. They were effective in getting the ball inside to their big men, especially in the first half. They did it again in the second half. Denny ended up with 21 points, and they got their fast break going. Beautiful game by both Denny and Kuski and Vanderweiss on underneath.
A little bit of a lapse in the second half was the only downfall for UW lacrosse. You see the final score there, 86-65. Lacrosse wins it by 19, a big win. They go to 4-2, as we said, in the conference. And we'd like to thank our crew here tonight. WLSU TV, a division of Sports Group. Glad to bring in. We couldn't have done it without the help of our remote crew, Bob Schultz on camera, Jeff Kirkman, Bob Grice, Carolyn Kaufman, John Kaz, and Bob Schultz. And that's just about going to do it. Final score once again, 86-65. Lacrosse wins it. Mike Bunch, along with Eric Hillisland. We'll be glad to have you again tomorrow night. Right, Eric?
Okay. Tune in tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Rooney's basketball. Thank you for tuning. Eric Hillisland, along with Mike Bunch.
Once again.
I guess that's it. 86-65, the final here at Mitchell Hall. UW lacrosse over UW Stout.
Thanks again for joining us. Catch us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We'll bring you Rooney's basketball. Good night, everyone.
bringing up the Eau Claire offense. Handoff immediately, right up the middle.
That was Lee Weigel, the man they want to look for all afternoon, the leading rusher in the WSUC. He's the man the Indians will have to stop. It's no surprise to anyone who they're going to go to this afternoon. It's going to be that man. 1st and 10, that was the first possession of the day for the Blue Golds as they take on the Indians. Big ball game this afternoon, Charlie.
Lee Weigel is definitely the man playing hurt. He missed the Superior game a couple of weeks ago, played against Whitewater and turned in an outstanding offense. I formation, Cole on the throw, over the middle and dropped. It might have been thrown behind the man that...
Well, we have to see right there, the Blue Golds are the top offensive team in the WSUC this year. They can run and pass. They average 349 yards a game, 177 yards rushing, and 171 yards by the air. Either way, they can hit you. Lacrosse defense, one of the toughest in the NFL, or rather in the WSUC.
But rather weak against the pass as Cole tries to exploit it again, and it's Weigel that's got it. Escapes 2 to 3 tackles and is downed.
And on the first possession, UW Eau Claire moves the ball. 3rd down play.
Cole now back, running off to his right on an option play and gets smeared by Sicklinger. But Weigel's going to get outside for a couple of yards. Not many.
So far, you have to be pleased with Lacrosse's defense against Weigel. He's a man that we mentioned that Eau Claire likes to go to. He's carried the ball 3 times for approximately 10 yards, which hopefully will be his average, about 3 yards a carry for the afternoon. Lacrosse will be in good trouble, or in good hands then if they can hold on to Weigel.
Gerlach has been the man who's made the stop twice out of those 3 times. He apparently has been assigned Lee Weigel for the day. Cole back to pass on the throw. Weigel wide open in the flat. He's got room to run. And Reedy on an ankle tackle.
Nice open field tackle right there by Van Brady. They just simple play out of the backfield. Weigel was open. I think he might have even been the primary receiver right there. Little swing pass to Weigel. He got about 7 yards. 1st down. They're moving the ball effectively in the early going.
That's the same kind of play that was used on the other side just a couple of minutes ago. Weigel out open in the flat. Apparently the linebacker coverage, there's something that Eau Claire spotted right away, and they're taking advantage of it. I formation. Cole handing off. This is to this first man.
It's Kenny Heffel. He's down the sideline. I believe he may be close to another 1st down, close to the Lacrosse 20. That's Ken Heffel. Ken Heffel, another fine running back. He's 5'8", 175 pounds, a junior from Racine Case. They can go either way in the backfield. Weigel, their number 1, but this guy, Heffel, will be tough against Lacrosse this afternoon, too.
Gerlach has been in on a lot of the tackles for Lacrosse. And as Eau Claire now gets inside the 20, we'll have to see a better line play from Lacrosse. Handoff to Weigel. He gets through. He's open. Goodbye. That's a touchdown.
From the 20-yard line, Eau Claire. No problem in the early going. Eau Claire takes it on their 40-yard line. They drive down, a little bit over 60 yards. It took them only 2.5 minutes. They have an early lead, 6-0. No problem right there, Charlie.
Lee Weigel, they'd been running to the outside if they had been running Weigel at all. And he just got open through the middle. There was no linebacker coverage at all. A straight sprint in for 6 points for the Eau Claire Blue Golds.
Perhaps I spoke too soon when I said Lacrosse has contained Weigel, but on his 4th carry right there, he burst open for 20 yards. Andy Blodgett will try the extra point for Lacrosse. The snap is down. The kick is good and no good. I don't know if anybody got a hand on that or not, but it was a little wide right. A little break for Lacrosse right there. Eau Claire leads it 6-0.
Well, the offense has not gotten their uniforms dirty yet, so let's not count them out of it at the moment. Lacrosse playing very well on defense so far against the run. They're ranked 2nd in the conference, but Eau Claire just definitely messed that ranking up. Mixing in flat passes to Weigel, slant runs, and a burst right up the middle for 20 yards for a touchdown.
That's not good for Lacrosse to be hurt like that on the opening drive. A very encouraging drive for the Blue Golds as they went 62 yards for the score in less than 3 minutes.
Well, let's see if Lacrosse can take advantage of what would seem to be a rather loose Eau Claire defense, because the defense has allowed an average of 327 yards per game, 178 rushing, 149 by the pass. So perhaps La Crosse can come back. We could see ourselves a seesaw battle here without any problems at all, Mike Bunch.
Very right, Charlie. Let's take a look at last week's ball games. La Crosse coming off a 21-21 tie against Oshkosh. Undefeated record going into that game. It was homecoming. Players were hyped. The fans were hyped. Ready to go in a game, maybe looking a week ahead to Eau Claire, but Oshkosh came in, played La Crosse very well, played some tough D against La Crosse. When La Crosse got inside the 10, La Crosse couldn't capitalize, came away with a tie. On the other hand, we have Eau Claire against Whitewater last week. Eau Claire just got demolished, 34-14. Whitewater ran and passed all over the Blue Gold defense.
Hopefully La Crosse will be able to generate that same kind of offense against these Eau Claire Blue Golds. If not, if Eau Claire gets a real quick start, La Crosse is known as a comeback team, but they went to the well once too often last week and came up empty. Blodgett for the kick. And
the left, and they will go to the right. Looking at first half statistics, Eau Claire dominated, but not overly dominated La Crosse. They had 11 first downs to La Crosse's 4. Total yardage went to Eau Claire's favor, 111-76 for the Indians. Passing was 3 for 14 for La Crosse, 9 for 18 for the Indians. Right now, Andy Blodgett getting ready to kick off to Stan Johnson and Don Scarbarth deep, and we're underway here. Second half action, Cannon Field. Stan Johnson will take it on about the 5-yard line. He's up to the 15 to the 20-yard line. He gets outside, tries to get some running room, and he's brought down out of bounds about the 30-yard line, and La Crosse will take it. First and 10, about the 32-yard line.
Not bad field position, Mike, for the first drive of the second half. Hopefully La Crosse can muster up some sort of an offense now and take it upfield and get a quick score.
That was their problem in the first half. As you mentioned, Bob, they had trouble getting good field position. They were back in there, deep in their own territory plenty of times. Their best field position they had was about the 30-yard line. And Bob Krefley, the junior from Potosi, will bring up the Indians first and 10, 32. Slater and Boehm in the backfield, and Krefley's going to hand it off to Walter Slater, and he's going to get about 3 yards before Madison, number 24. We saw him in the first half on the tackle. Bart Madison, he picked one off earlier, and there he was on the tackle. Slater in the first half gained 19 yards on the ground and 7 carries. La Crosse has not been able to gain any yardage whatsoever against the Blue Gold defense in the first half. 18 carries, 55 yards only. We'll see what they do there. We're going to give Slater a gain of about 2. Krefley will bring him up wide right. Kenny Schmidt caught a big pass play in the first half for La Crosse. Krefley going to roll right, take it himself. I don't know if that was a quarterback draw or just a lack of miscommunication on the part of the Indians. Anyway, Krefley gets up out to the 37-yard line. A game in about 5. It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Indians.
I think that time, Mike, Bob Krefley came down the line trying to read the defensive end, thought he had a better shot at getting positive yards for the Indians, kept it himself and got what he could out of the play.
Well, he got about 4. 3rd and 5, big play for the Indians. They want to establish a ground game against the Blue Golds. They haven't thus far. Slater held to 19 yards in the first half. Oberg, 6 yards. Dave Boehm only had 25. There's Krefley back to pass. He's got Stan Johnson on the sideline. A little nice route about the 45-yard line. Johnson caught it. We got a first down, Indians.
Good route that time by Stan Johnson. He went beyond the first down marker, came back to the ball, and still was beyond the first down marker, as I said.
Smart play by La Crosse. In the first half, they went long a lot of times. Krefley trying to hit receivers Schmidt, Johnson, and Massa, but couldn't connect. Those short passes, he's had one to Schmidt and now one to Stan Johnson, and that may be what La Crosse will look for. We'll see what Coach Roger Herring thinks. From the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Krefley takes the snap back to pass. Boehm off the right. He hits Boehm, and Boehm's going to be brought out of bounds, or rather, we have a substitution being made there into the lineup. For La Crosse is number 38. That's Randy Johnson, inserted in the lineup by Coach Roger Herring for Dave Boehm. We don't know if Boehm is hurt or just substitution being made for game reasons by Coach Herring. Anyway, the pass was complete to Randy Johnson. He got about 3 yards. 2nd and 7. La Crosse going short that time. Krefley not forced to go deep. I think that's what Coach Roger Herring wants out of Bob Krefley, not to force that long pass. Krefley going to roll left, hand off to Johnson. He's trying to get outside. He's not going to go anywhere. The guy we talked about earlier, Bart Madison, from his defensive back backfield position came up that time to stop Randy Johnson. He didn't get much at all.
Well, Mike, he's playing pretty much just the run here. He's coming up awfully quick from his defensive back spot, and he's having a lot of help from his friends as they're stringing out any outside run for La Crosse.
La Crosse just can't get anything on the run up the middle or outside. Total yards for La Crosse in the first half, only 76 yards compared to the Blue Gold's 111 on the ground. As we said earlier, the Indians got 55 yards. Krefli will take the snap, 3rd and 7. Johnson and Slater in the backfield. Krefli back to pass. He's got some time. He's got 82, number 92, Mike Mossam rather, and he can't hold on. That time, nice sideline route in his hands and dropped. We've seen that on occasion a lot this afternoon.
Yeah, an excellent pass by Bob Krefli through the deep sidelines. He showed us good strong arm, and also a good job by the two running backs. Eau Claire came in an all-out blitz that time, and the offensive line and the running backs picked it up rather well, giving Krefli time to throw.
They picked up the blitz. They had time, but they couldn't connect that time. The pass was dropped. Dan Lowney at about the La Crosse 32-yard line takes a snap, eyes it up, and there's the boot. Sends Madison way deep, about the 10-yard line, and the ball is going to go back in the end zone for a touchback. And Eau Claire will take it on their 20-yard line. Nice boot that time by Dan Lowney, about a 46-yarder, which is encouraging. He's had a tough first half for La Crosse, but Lowney gets that one off good.
Good spiraling punt. He got it up high and in the wind, and with a spiral, the wind's going to take it that extra distance.
La Crosse fortunate to have the Blue Golds back in their own territory. That's the key of the first half, I think, was the good position by the Blue Golds and the poor field position by La Crosse. This time the Blue Golds start back at their own 20-yard line. Jess Cole, Lee Weigel, and Kenny Heffel in the backfield that time. It's Lee Weigel.
A tie for first place.
Oh, and in turn there it would go to River Falls because they have beaten Eau Claire. Or rather, it would go to Eau Claire because they have beaten River Falls. A mistake on my part. This is true. Whitewater beat Eau Claire for their only loss. Earlier in the season, Eau Claire defeated the River Falls Falcons. Well, Eau Claire, you have to give them credit. They came out right from the beginning, put La Crosse down, ran the ball against them, stopped La Crosse. They knew what they had to do to win. They did. Fine performances on the whole team of the UW Eau Claire Blue Golds. It was the last day, last home game of the year. The seniors have got to be happy to leave this field with a victory. They have 12 seconds remaining on the clock. Fitzgerald with 8 seconds going to run it on. I don't even know if they'll snap it. Eau Claire fans chant down the final few seconds. Fitzgerald's not even going to take the snap. This ball game's history. It's all over. Bad news for La Crosse fans, good news for Eau Claire. Final score, UW Eau Claire 25, UW La Crosse 3. La Crosse just couldn't do it this week. They'll be home next week against a tough River Falls teams, but it's not over yet. We talked about it. There still is a possibility for La Crosse to win. Only way that would be able to happen was that Eau Claire would have to go to Stevens Point and lose, while La Crosse would have to beat the River Falls Falcons. But what's going to do it right here from Carson Park? Good night, everyone.
Back in your college days, what were your feelings, your expectations like when it rolled around?
Mike, I don't want to answer that question. What I do want to say is I think the Packers could use help at every position this year except center. That's the one spot we don't need any help. Getting back to 1973 when I was drafted, 1973 was it? That was a real farce. I mean, after all, about 90% of the guys that were drafted in front of me are now history, as they say. They're now selling insurance, you know? And I felt it was one of the great injustices of our time or any other. And
what round were you drafted in?
I was drafted in the 12th round. That really bugged me. But that's the way it worked out. But
so you're saying that all 11 guys before you were
well, as a matter of fact, the 11 guys that were drafted before me by the Packers are now history. I don't know what they're doing. They're probably selling insurance or something. So I was really disappointed by the draft. I thought they made a grievous error. They spent thousands of dollars evaluating the draft, and what do they come up with? Bad decisions. I can't help it. I'm sick of it. Makes me want to throw up. Mike, go get him.
Yeah. Okay, Eric, if you can remember back when you were drafted, what were your feelings as far as
how many years ago was that, Eric?
That was 8 years ago.
8 years ago?
Yes.
God, you're old.
Yes, true. But
Look
let me
at the gray hair.
let me tell you one
The
thing
guy's
about
old.
this.
He's a fossil.
Like McCarren, nobody from the class of '74 is left. I'm the only one left.
Right on, Eric.
Hey,
right on.
Larry, and you know, what can you say? Like Larry said, the Packers made a mistake. They should have drafted me in the first round, but they took me in the 11th round.
That's right.
And it's all over. That they made a mistake, and it hurt me bad.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. What else you got to say?
All right. What do you think of the current draft system? And, you know, in other words, you're stuck with a team that, and pretty much stuck with a team that
I'm not
drafted
stuck
you.
with a
You
team. I
can't-
love playing for Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I don't feel stuck at all because Green Bay, to me, is where it's at for playing football. I love playing in Green Bay. Larry loves playing in Green Bay. I love playing behind Larry. He's my center. I love to follow his blocks, and he does a hell of a job. And hey, I love being
I
here.
love the block for this fossil. As old as he is, he finds the holes, Mike. He finds the holes, and that's
Well,
the key.
the fact is,
That's the key to a
let me
great
say
running
something.
back. Okay,
the fact
Clark.
is, there's a hole there when Larry's blocking, Mike, and that's why it's so easy for a running back playing behind Larry McCarren and the Green Bay
Let
Packers.
us say this. There's one place that's second on our list to play at, and number one is Green Bay. I mean, after all, we're the Bushers, okay?
Yep.
Second is lacrosse. Now,
No, I say move the franchise to lacrosse.
hey, you've heard it
Sounds
here
good with
first.
us.
Mike, what do you think?
Sounds good.
Let's interview Mike.
Mike?
Mike,
And the mic.
what do you think? What do you think about sports in general? Do you like being a sportscaster?
How long have you been doing this job?
I've been doing this for a whole week now. I'm pretty experienced.
Mike, you're off to a roaring start. Hey, you out there in TV land, listen to Mike. He's a great guy. Look at him. He's good looking. What else could you ask? He's a super individual. Hey, let's get out of here. It's time to...
Into the fourth week.
The potent Green Bay Packer offense of the 1983 season has already registered 89 points in only 3 games. Most of the credit is directed towards talented wide receivers John Jefferson and James Lofton, but tight end Paul Kaufman has played an important part in the Packers' aerial attack. The All-Pro from Kansas State is pleased with his performance thus far.
I've caught a lot of passes, got recognition, and all I want to do is just help the team win ball games. When you start winning ball games, make the playoffs, then you get recognition, awards, things like that. And I think right now we have to just concentrate on winning games.
Kaufman has caught 11 of Lynn Dickey's passes for a total of 104 yards, including 6 for 90 yards against the Rams on Sunday. He feels that a big factor for the Pack to gain yards in the air is due to the ability of the Packer receivers to work together.
I think for all 3 of us to play together that we complement each other well, that there's no one guy they can key on, no 2 guys they can key on because the other 1 or 2 are going to get open. There's things I do, running short routes across the middle that are going to bring the linebackers up, allowing the receivers to sneak in behind them. If JJ comes in behind them, then the strong safety or free safety has to come up and watch him, and James can get deep. So there's things that we all do that are going to help the other receivers, and if they try to stop one of them, like I said earlier, the other guy's going to get the ball.
Mike Bunch for Channel 8 Sports.